Good morning. Last week in the Learning Together, we talked about birthdays. I know we talked about birthdays because there was Bubbles. You probably remember that. We had Bubbles in my eye for celebrating birthdays. And it was Jimmy's birthday last week. It was Peter's birthday had been a little bit before that. And so we were celebrating somebody else's birthday too. Somebody was having a birthday. Oh, the church. The church was having a birthday. It's Pentecost, the day that we celebrate the church's birthday. Somebody else had a birthday this past week too. I'll just let you know a little secret. It was me. I won't tell you what day, but I'm this many years old. And let's just say that was a lot. In case you missed that, we'll just say it was a lot. Shepherd, don't even think about playing this back in slow motion so that they can count that. Let's just say it was a lot. And so I'm a lot older than some people here today, but I'm not as old as others. We won't even begin to guess or speculate as to who might be the oldest person in the congregation, although you might perhaps say do that at coffee afterwards. Anyway, the point is that we all have different birthdays, and some of us are still young, some of us are a little bit older, some of us are quite a bit older, and none of us are as old as the church. And that's a really good thing. That's a really good thing because we all have different life experience. We have different things happening in our lives, different amount of time in which we have lived to grow and learn. And that's a really good thing because it gives us time to experience and time to get to know God. And we get to know God in all sorts of different ways. And the more time we spend getting to know God, the more ways that we'll be able to see God. We might see God in how amazing and wonderful the world is, right? God in creation, in the world around us. We might see God in the stories that we tell about Jesus. Remember, last week we were talking about how Pentecost, the Spirit came and inspired the followers of Jesus to want to go and tell people about Jesus. And that's another way that we see God, is that Spirit, the work, the power, the energy, the enthusiasm which is God in the world. These are ways in which we can experience God. And we see God in all sorts of different ways. And that's what's so amazing about our life experience, is the opportunity to get to know God even more. And it's even better if we get to know God in this community, as church, people coming together and sharing their stories, their own personal stories of experiencing God, their own ways of sharing that story of Jesus, their own ways of living out what it means to be a follower of Jesus, of those things that Jesus taught us, because we can do those things too. And when we do those things, we're showing other people what God wants us to do and how God wants us to live. That's what's so amazing about the many, 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 many ways we get to see God in the world. And as we live our lives, we have experiences and we meet people and we do things that give us those opportunities. And one of them is here as a community. This is how we get to know God together.